Firstly, we had a story about Apple possibly being forced to use USB-C as a charging port in iPhones. And now this story about the EU possibly forcing smartphone manufacturers to use removable batteries too. So back with your Apple news, and there's so many iPhone leaks coming out right now. The iPhone 9, the iPhone 12, and different products coming up to the March or spring event and leading on into the autumn as well. Firstly, the story on Apple AirTags, which is a new product that Apple are going to launch. A tracking device that can help you keep track of your items, rumored to be coming at the March event. Now Ming-Chi Kuo says that actual production and availability of these may be pushed back to the autumn. Apple are apparently readying orders for tens of millions of these new Apple AirTags, which use ultra wideband technology to be located more specifically when using your iPhone. As production gets back up and running, it would be one of the products that would get pushed back in favor of the more important products coming earlier on in the year. One of the most important products will be the iPhone 9, set to be launched at the March event, expected to be an iPhone 8 with different internals. Something that Apple may introduce very soon is the ability to fix your iPhone over the air and not have to plug it into a Mac or a PC. There's code in the new iOS 13.4 beta that references OS recovery. This is a story by 9to5Mac and shows that the iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even HomePod could be recovered by connecting it to the internet and not having to plug it in to a different computer. So you can contact Apple support and get things sorted out online without having to plug it into anything yourself. However, if there are real hardware problems and Apple can't fix it over the internet, then you would still have to take it into a physical store to get it looked at. And with a new iPad coming apparently at the launch event and even more new 5G iPads coming towards the end of the year, it looks like Apple want to introduce a brand new iPad keyboard with a built-in trackpad. This would enable users to use the iPad much more like we use a MacBook these days. According to Mark Gurman anyway, he doesn't think that iPad OS is getting much of an overhaul in the near future though, but I can envisage a future, for example, where the MacBook Air gets completely replaced by iPad Pros, if iPad OS can behave more like Mac OS. And more on the iPhone 12, or the 2020 iPhones as they're being called in this report, suggests that Apple could be using a completely new Wi-Fi technology in those phones. The new Wi-Fi technology, described as ultra shortband, would be used to communicate with nearby products. So this could possibly be used for something like AirDrop, making it even quicker than it is now. We've seen in the Android world recently that Wi-Fi 6 is also being enabled in those devices. This specific technology though could be used in conjunction with Apple products and augmented reality, and could also work in conjunction with some different sensors that Apple may be putting in future products. So now for the biggest or weirdest story, the EU may force Apple and other manufacturers to go back to using removable batteries in smartphones. So the EU is pushing ahead with its plans to force all manufacturers to put USB-C charging ports in their phones. That includes Apple, and apparently some leaked documentation shows that they're also considering removable batteries to be enforceable too. Literally all modern smartphones do not have the ability to easily open up the back. This means we get better looking, thinner products, lighter products. If you wanted users to remove the back themselves, you'd have to go back to a very old model of using plastic backs with a little plastic clip that you would undo. And that just is not the way that modern smartphones are built and designed. If smartphone makers had to go back to that design, it would also mean no wireless charging either, because you can't use plastic backs with wireless charging. So whilst I do agree with the EU on the USB-C thing, I think when it comes to removable batteries, most people, especially Apple customers, prefer thinner, lighter designs and the wireless charging that you get. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.